Nothing?
Nothing.
That really is something.
You get a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks. See ya.
May I have a balloon too?
Sure. Your parents have maintained a farmer's home policy for 12 consecutive months, right?
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
We're live. Hello. Guys, we are live right now with Rob Wietoff, the voice and body acting of John Marston in Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2. I am so excited to have you, Rob. Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for having interest in having me. I love it. I really appreciate it. This is awesome.
Yeah, dude, we have somebody saying hi from India. I feel it's so cool. And Blurry Umbrellas goes, ha, he's in the chicken coop. He already knows.
Yeah, I'm in the coop again. We're partying in the coop.
Sorry, he or she, but I believe you're a he, Blurry Umbrellas. Let me know. So you rebuilt this chicken coop and made it your office.
Yeah, basically I did. So my wife babysits kids, and while I'm off this week, she's not. And so it's perfect that we have this space, because right now there are kids running around in our house being crazy and loud, And even if she's not babysitting,
Yeah.
my kids, our kids are loud. We have dogs, and there's just not a good spot inside our actual house. And at one time there were 13 chickens living in this chicken coop, but we got rid of them, and I made it. Yeah, I made it my space. I have to have a space somewhere, so I took the chicken coop.
Oh my God. I thought you were going to say at one moment we had 13 kids staying in here and it was 30 chickens.
Oh no.
That's amazing though, dude. It looks like a legit office. Like if I don't know what else is around, I wouldn't call it a chicken coop, but I think it's rad that you have shared this with us. Sorry, Glory Umbrellas, you're a she. Okay, now we know. Awesome. Mercy, you're a wants chickens. So that's a great one. Oh, you also have bees, dude? See, fans are letting me know stuff about you that I don't know.
That is funny. That person watched the Geek Sign Live. I could never spit that out. The Geek Sign Live event where I told a little story about bees. And thank you for paying attention. I got to tell you, I'm so bad at Instagram Live stuff. This last time I had a Geek Live signing thing, I started a live thing that lasted for probably 5 minutes before I realized that no one could hear me.
Oh my
I had
God.
no microphone.
Oh my God, you are so cute. That is so funny.
You know what I tell you? I'm a goofball anyway, and I try to be in a lot of ways, but I also just am. It's not like. Thank God I've kind of just been like, I'm a jokester and have fun, because when I'm not trying to be and I'm trying to be serious, I'm still kind of a dummy. So
No. Listen, also technology is so fast these days. Like, I consider myself relatively decent at certain things, but compared to everybody on this chat, they call me grandma because I can't handle it. But then I go, does your grandma have abs? Excuse me. So that's my comeback. That's my one comeback. Well, so when you do Insta Lives, just make sure to like read a comment or two at the beginning to make sure that like things are smooth, and then you can like just do your thing. But usually it's like no sound, and then you're like, oh shoot.
Yeah, and the thing about it is I hung up because I realized no one can hear me. I got to change this, and I don't know how to do it on the fly, and so I didn't save it. So thank God, unless nobody. If anybody has it, just get rid of it. Nobody needs to see that. So
they may have saved it. You never know. Blurry Umbrellas is one of your biggest fans because she loves Big Ben Davis and remembers all the awesome stories that you guys do on your lives. So one of the really beautiful things was the week I had Roger on and Ben. I was trying to do a Red Dead week, but you freaking work in construction.
yes.
Which is awesome. So that's why we're doing it the week between Christmas and New Year's, because it's your time off. But I wanted, before we get into Red Dead stuff, it has to do with Red Dead, your journey as an actor, because I remember you, correct me if I'm wrong, you were in LA, because we worked on Red Dead together. That's where we met. But you were being flown from Indiana to New York to work. But the original, you lived in LA years and years ago, and that's how you booked Red Dead 1? I don't call it that, but to differentiate.
Yeah. So I was there and lived there.
Were you bartending?
Yes.
Yeah.
For so long, and I loved it. But my goodness, it's rough. It's hard to keep that up. So all the bartenders out there, do your thing. Try not to overdo it all the time, like I did.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. But enjoy yourself.
I loved working as a waitress. I worked for 6 years. I hated it sometimes, but you got to like learn to love it in order to survive, right? So it's like that balance. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and we were all kind of encouraged to party right along with all of our all the people that came in to just enjoy the restaurant where I worked. So there were so many days where I would wake up and think, oh my goodness, I can't believe I feel horrible again. You make money, but you're wrecked from partying all the time. Anyway.
Well, you can pour drinks and not drink them yourself.
Yeah, you can.
But you didn't.
No, it's just not.
Right.
Anyway, so I was a bartender for a long time, and then yes, I booked Red Dead Redemption, and that shot in Santa Monica, and was really a cool experience. And then shortly after,
How long did you work on Red Dead for? The first one.
It was spread out over almost 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
But the days that I actually worked were far less than I worked on Red Dead Redemption 2. And it was different technology, and it was different. Everything was a little bit different. And in Red Dead Redemption 2, you can kind of move in and out of cutscenes in a different way than you could in Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption, there was like a glowing X on the screen, and if you walk into that X, then a scene would start. And you could either skip it if you've seen it before and just miss the entire thing, or you were in it and you experienced it for 30 seconds or a minute and a half or however long it was.
Yeah.
And it actually was shorter to shoot that because you didn't have to factor in whether Arthur Morgan or, spoiler alert, John, depending on how far you are into Red Dead Redemption 2 if you're playing it. You can come and go. And as people in that scene, you have to be able to, at any time, be able to look, what are you doing? Are you here? Are you not? You know, whatever reactions you give to the playable character.
Oh my God, I thought you were talking to one of your kids. I'm like, as a kid, interrupt. That was like, you're such a good actor. Hey, what are you doing? Are you in or out, man? Come on in, kid. What?
I hope I don't talk to my kids that way.
No. You know, sometimes how you talk to little kids like they're adults. Joe, I told you not to do that anymore. Come on, buddy, let's go.
No, but so I guess so the technology was different. So I worked probably spread out over 2 years, but I worked far less days. And then moved back to Indiana, basically right after that wrapped. And wasn't long after
to give up acting, you know, or to leave the business.
Yeah, my wife and I were not married yet, but we wanted to get married, and we wanted to have kids, and we didn't want to do it in LA. And I think, you know, she grew up in LA and always lived in LA, and I had a lot of fun and experienced a lot of really cool things in LA. Learned a lot about myself. Love it. So happy that I did it. But at that time, I thought, okay, I've done a lot of really cool, fun stuff, but I don't want to be married and trying to start a family and be a bartender. Because as an actor,
it's tough.
There's no guarantee you're ever going to work again. And so I thought, I'm going to go back to what I know and understand and get a job and start a family. And so that's what we did. And Undead Nightmare, which was a DLC for Red Dead Redemption, zombie, awesome, fun, crazy stuff, you know. But that shot in New York shortly after I moved back to Indiana. And then a few years went by, at least 2 years went by. I really thought it was all over. I didn't think there was any more work for me. So I just had a boring job that was perfect because it was consistent and it provided benefits. You know, I had kids.
Yeah.
But then I got a call from Rockstar.
Oh my God.
Work again.
Was that the craziest thing where you're like, nah, I'm going to pass?
Oh my goodness. Well, so first of all, I thought, because the director is the one who got in touch with me, and he said, we've got some work and we want to know if you're interested in doing it. And I originally thought, when he called me, I thought, oh, you've got some other game that you're working on and you want me to come in and play a character that's not John, but just to hang out and do just a few more days. They did that with a guy from one of the previous Grand Theft Autos.
Yeah.
Came in and worked on Undead Nightmare as just some random character.
Yeah, and you're grateful for the work, so you say, sure, you know, as an actor who's just like looking for gigs. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that's what they were asking me if I was interested in doing, and I said, yeah, of course, I would love to. And it turned out it was definitely not that. It was a whole huge game, and I'm so happy that they called me. Totally unexpected.
So you had to okay, pause for a second. There's someone with the username John Marston fan just said hi, Rob. I just wanted to shout that out because their username is that. And the chat's talking about bees. I have no idea what's going on. Maybe because you have bees. So did you have to go through this conversation with your wife? Like, okay, so if I have to fly out to New York, 5 days, once a month, what happens with the kids? What is my construction job going to take me 3 weeks out of the month? Like, what happened there? Were you like, this is nuts?
Yeah, well, so once I realized that it was an actual game, another Red Dead Redemption game, and I was going to be playing the character of John Marston again, then it was a very different conversation from just what I thought was going to be for 1 week to go out and have some fun and whatever. That wasn't a big deal. But then it did when it became, this is a whole new game. It became a very different conversation. And because my wife is so supportive and knows that that's what really, truly brings me joy.
Yes.
I mean, she knows that. And she knew that, it's going to be difficult. At that time, we had 2-year-old twin boys and all over the place, even at 2 years old, just everywhere. And little wrecking balls, and I thought, this is not good timing. But she was so supportive and said, do it and enjoy it. And so I did. And I was able to continue working construction. And so I was for 2 or 3 weeks in New York, and I'd come home for 2 or 3 weeks and do construction when I was home, and then I would go back, and it was
I'm sure it was also a cool thing to have a different paycheck, right? I mean, it's a nice thing to receive. No, really, like you're doing these different things, but it's not like you're just going on vacation for 2 weeks out of the month and going, bye, wifey, see you later. It's like, this is like all going towards the well-being of our family, even though I'm away.
Yeah. It wasn't easy. I mean, it definitely wasn't easy. And there was a 2-year stretch where I was in New York more than I was in Indiana.
Oh my gosh.
It became kind of a weird normal. I mean, it became normal, but it was weird, and it didn't last forever. And we made it through, and everybody's great now. But it was kind of wild for a while. It was
sure there were times when your wife wanted to kill you for being gone.
Yes.
As a wife taking care of some crazy twins, I'm sure your twins are amazing, but I have just been with a tiny family for Christmas, and like at the end of it, you go, okay, I need some adult time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that either one of us thought that it was going to last.
Yeah.
As long as it did. I mean, it was.
Maybe that's better. You probably wouldn't have signed on if you knew it was going to be 2 years, or more.
Right. Yeah, it would have been a different conversation.
Also, wait, but Arthur Morgan worked for 5 years. So did they bring you on a little bit later?
They did. They did bring me on a little bit later, but the 2 years that I worked was Red Dead Redemption. On Red Dead Redemption 2, I think I probably worked for. A lot of people did work for 5 years. I worked maybe 4.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, which is still a really long time. I wasn't there as long as a lot of the other people were, though. So I can't say that I worked for 5 years, but I worked for a long, long time, and I truly enjoyed every second of it. And I would do it again.
And nobody knew that you were coming back to Red Dead 2.
No.
I remember when we met on set and we were working, and we obviously, when we're working with Rockstar, we can't say a peep to anybody about anything, but they said that if I even just followed you on Twitter, or you closed Twitter because people were being so careful watching you and who you followed and who followed you, that they would put stuff together. So you're like, I don't even mess with that because I'll get in trouble. And I remember thinking, I wanted to follow Ben Davis and Roger because we just met and they were so great. And I'm like, once the game comes out, I'll see them at cons. I knew that. You didn't. But then it was like, no, we can't do any of that because, people who just follow the game so carefully are like putting pieces together of everything, That's a crazy thing.
It is crazy. And they, I guess I had a Facebook. I never actually had Twitter. I never had Twitter until recently. somebody had created a Twitter account with my name, but it wasn't me. And now I have one, but it's maybe like 3 months old or something. And I don't.
Maybe it was Roger that had a Twitter and then decided to close it, or he had it and he just left it there and just didn't do anything with it. You know?
Yeah, that may have been him, but it was wild, and there were things that people put together. People actually figured things out where we thought,
yeah.
Somebody said something, or these people are just really that good at figuring, and they did, and so it's kind of
I just watched I finished Game of Thrones finally, and I watched the documentary about it. It's this 2-hour document. It's fascinating. And once they'd already killed off a bunch of characters, they were still flying them out to Spain, bringing them on set because they had so many fans that would like follow the buses, the trucks, the whatevers, that they didn't want to like let the fans know, oh, this guy already died off and he hasn't shown up to shoot more scenes. So they would like bring decoys in, you know, just to have them in a van, and then they could wave at the fans, and the fans like, oh, what's his name is, you know, shooting still. They haven't killed him off, but really they killed him off 2 episodes ago. And I'm like, that's nuts, man. Just to keep these secrets, you know what I mean? And I feel like Rockstar goes to that extent, like, you know, there's just no information that can be gathered from anything because they're so secretive.
Yeah, they are. In fact, they tried to with the trailers for Red Dead Redemption 2. They were going to try to not put John in any of them and just have it be kind of a surprise whenever you stumble upon him in the game. But they realized that people break down the trailers frame by frame, and they had to cut out so many different things that maybe John wasn't even saying anything, but you could see him in a frame of something they wanted to put in the trailer, and they couldn't use it. And so finally they just said, we're not able to make the trailer that we want to make because we're trying to hide John. We can't hide John anymore. And so then, because people are so interested in, and thank God, and so cool.
Yeah.
It's
so
really cool.
Construction's happening near my house, and I just heard a big bang. Guys, Killjoy is busy. That's an inside joke with my chat. They're always asking for this one character who I haven't been able to bring into the Twitch. So to tell me the difference that, like, obviously when Red Dead 1 came out, Instagram didn't exist. We didn't know what conventions were really. They existed, but like they didn't, you know, bring a bunch of video game actors and voice actors to it. It's just, this is a brand new thing, maybe as of like 6 years ago, right? What was it like to have Red Dead come out and then your Insta blows up, Roger Clark's Insta blows up, you guys are like, what the heck's going on? Like, you guys went to Kuwait? Was that your first con ever?
Yeah.
How nuts is that to be flown across the world?
It was so cool. I know that you've experienced this too. I've been all over the world. It's so cool, and we all appreciate it so much to be able to go and experience face-to-face interactions with people who are interested in what we've been part of, and it's really overwhelming and such a positive experience. But yeah, as far as social media goes, I didn't have Instagram until I was in Kuwait.
I remember when you opened it. Yes, absolutely.
So Roger and I think Ben and Peter, they were there as well. The 4 of us were in Kuwait.
Oh, Peter, yeah, what a sweetie. Yeah.
So great. I think they may or may not have already had theirs yet, but that Roger for sure, and then a couple guys from Kuwait said, "Yeah, you really need one." And I thought, I don't know what I'm going to put on. I don't have anything to put on there. And they
you
said,
can put construction things, you know, a piece of wood, you nailing some stuff down.
Yeah, which I have posted a few things of our work that we've done in construction, but yeah, that's when it all started. Everything just kind of kicked off at the same time in Kuwait.
And also, had you ever been to the Middle East?
No.
Right. It's like the craziest thought to be flown somewhere for work and or to meet people, not even to shoot there. You're like meeting people that love your voice and your acting abilities.
Yeah, it was great. A really great really cool experience.
Yeah. So wait, so there's somebody who met you there. Zeester says, got to meet you here, man. It was amazing. Thank you for everything you guys do. How awesome. And the Tech Nova is asking, how often do you get recognized in public or your construction site?
Well, never that I'm aware of. I don't think so. When you're around a bunch of construction guys, I don't know. And also, I've worked in my hometown, so I grew up here, right. And I know a lot of people. It's a small town, and I know a lot of people just from living here. Now and then, I'll get someone who'll say, "Didn't you do some video game or something?" And I'll talk to them a little bit about it. But there's not. People don't. I don't think that people recognize. I don't look like a John. I don't look.
Yeah.
Not at all, and I sound like him. So if someone,
you sound just like him.
Somebody heard my voice and they had just recently played, maybe they would say, "I know that voice from somewhere, but I can't." Anyway, but no. I don't. It's
it's funny. I think that a lot of people who love the video games that we work on assume that we go out into the world and we're recognized, but it's like a very specific thing. We do the voice, or we might slightly look like one of the characters we played, even if there's mocap, like what's his nuts from GTA 5. Well, a lot of them from GTA 5. But it's because it's such a niche thing. It's like, even in New York City, a very big city where there's a ton of people, it's like once or twice, oh my god, you're Sombra, but it's not like there's a bunch of gamers just walking around the city waiting to bump into Sombra or Farah or Mercy,
Yeah.
So what do the people in your town or your close friends think of this? They're like, holy shit, John just blew up. Not John, Rob. Like what? It is a bizarre thing,
It is bizarre. It is bizarre, and it's. I think the thing about it is, it's such a like people play video games and they don't really think a lot. I don't think, maybe more so now, but I don't think people put a lot of thought into what actually goes into the process of creating the game.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm not saying anybody should. I'm just saying that just the way that works. Like, you see these characters and you don't realize maybe that there are actual people that are making them move and not just somebody drawing the whole thing. It's really hard to explain exactly how that side, and that's just one aspect of production, right?
Yeah.
Unless somebody's done it or seen it, it's hard to explain to them, I played a character in a video game. And a lot of people that don't play video games think like Pac-Man. So you were Pac-Man. And it feels crazy talking to them about it because you don't understand what it is that I'm trying to explain to you. And,
yeah.
And so, I don't know. I don't know. It's whatever it is. It's still, of course, I love it that people are interested. And if somebody asks me a question, I'm happy to talk to them about it. But it just
totally. I think that, it's like Overwatch has 40 or 50 million players all over the world. I'm guessing it's gone down since, it came out a while ago. But these games are huge all over the world with millions of players, but there is still a huge portion of the population that has no idea about video games. They think it's just Super Mario Karts, which I include myself in that. I would think, it'd be like Mario. I used to play Donkey Kong with my cousin, and then, I'd heard about gaming and tournaments, but I didn't really know any of the real name. I think I'd heard of League of Legends and stuff like that, but I didn't really know what was what, And it's funny, some of my friends who know that Sombra has had success, she'll be like, if we're at a party, not in pandemic, over a year ago, if we would be in a social situation, my friend would be like, no, this is Sombra. She's Sombra in watch over, and I'm like, and then the person would look at her like, what? And I'd be like, so there's this video game called Overwatch, and I voice one of the characters. Don't worry, it's not a big deal. It's just whatever. But normal people, not gamers, are like, what? You do who? What's? And it's just you kind of have to give the global context and then zoom into, the character. But a lot of people don't understand. Anyway.
Yeah, it's even if you are interested in it, it's something that you don't. It's hard to know what it is unless you see it. It's just hard to know.
It is. Have you played Red Dead?
I played a little bit, and so you got to remember, got married and had twin boys, and I do have another job. So I don't have a whole lot of time to devote to sitting down and playing video games. And I hate that because I think a lot of people just assume that I do.
Yeah.
But I don't mean to disappoint anyone, but I just, especially being gone for as long as I was to make Red Dead Redemption 2, now it's really hard for me to say, hey, everybody, you hang out and do your thing. I'm going to isolate myself and play a video game for the rest of the night.
Right.
So,
Rob, can I tell you something? I did not get married, and I do not have twins, and I still don't play video games. Okay, so you do not have to ask for forgiveness because listen, I've tried. It's stressful, man. I know that Red Dead's different. It's a journey you go through, and there's like stuff to encounter and experience. But like, you're a family guy. You're doing your thing, man. It's okay.
Well, and truthfully too, I love the work. And I don't think anybody accepted the work because they couldn't wait to go play the video game that they were making. I think people did the work because they love the work.
Yeah.
That was the thing for me. I love the work, and I don't know. Like, I would love. I'm sure that, and someday I will love to play the games.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. But
How old are your twins now?
they're 9.
9. Because someone's suggesting you teach them how to play Red Dead, and then y'all can play together.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe now, they might be.
They're still a little young, right? There's a lot of racist stuff that goes there, and bloody things, and weird. I mean, I shot a very weird scene in Red Dead. Do you remember that?
Oh goodness! Well, you were there, so like spread out, right?
Yeah. They were super random. But Ben, for some reason, remembers this like clear as day, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that. I think it was because he was there. What was the character, guys? Remind me. I'm basically a prostitute. Doing some dude, but he's so high that he looks at me and sees me as this other character. So I'm a dude on top of him. But then Lenny, and then he looks over and everybody he sees has Lenny's face. And so I was just like, I don't know, I shot that and then I forgot about it. You know what I mean? But I guess Big Ben remembered that. So that was like how we started our stream. Oh, and Roger Clark, the first thing he brings up is that I said, careful, there's going to be, Arthur Morgan porn. And he's like, what? And that's the first thing that he brought up on my stream. And I'm like, guys, you're really not helping me here.
That's awesome. Awesome. I love that. I know you love it too, but maybe not live in front of hundreds of people.
Well, I wanted to ease into it and then we could talk about it, but I think it was when I was working on Red Dead that I rode the train back with another guy who was on the video game, and somehow we were just talking about different video games and stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, no, I'm guessing there was a ton of Overwatch porn, and I'm like, wait, what? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I'm curious if they use my voice. And so he Googled it on his phone. I'm like, I am not searching for this on my phone. This is not getting saved on my Google search. So he searched for it, and we watched some Sombra porn on the train back to New York City. And they don't use my voice for Sombra. It's just some random ass sounds, but they have managed to perfectly grab her face and put it on some body that is doing some stuff. So
yeah,
the weird things that video games also bring us,
Yeah.
Question for you: are you going to do Red Dead Redemption 3?
That would be like asking. I don't know, any other question that just doesn't have an answer, I guess.
Right.
Of course. If they ask me, I would love to work with Rockstar again in any capacity, whether it's for another Red Dead game or any possible way for me to get back with those people. I would be delighted. And you know how this goes. You don't know anything more than anyone else. So, I don't know. I want to. Yeah. So guys, it's not like the diva wife was like, when is Red Dead 3? It's like, we don't know. We don't know anything. It was just a question. And break every mold. Don't pretend like you
don't know anything about Overwatch porn or blah 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 blah. I see right through you, boo. But yeah, I guess Ben and Arthur both told stories of like how the cast had such beautiful interactions, and when you're all sitting around the fire, and it was just such a beautiful scene, and like such great experiences that you can remember and think back on. And I do think that one of the really awesome things that video game world gives us, as well as most superhero movies, which we're not involved in yet, but just the fact that like it has a convention life, and so we get to travel with people we love and meet the people who love the game or the movie, because I think that on other projects, well, especially Red Dead 1, you didn't travel the world to meet the fans, and so I think it's cool that like somehow we're being taken to places. So I get to hang with Anjali, I get to bump into you guys, I get to continue living that love, rather than we wrapped this movie and maybe it made it to theaters, but that's it. It doesn't have this like continuation, and I think that that's why I've connected to Sombra so much, because I keep interacting with fans who are like, oh my god, my favorite voice line is taradita, and I'll be like, wow, I forgot about that one, so it's cool that it's just like it keeps like growing and expanding, and that's a really nice thing.
Yes, it's so great, and to be able to speak with people face to face, and I know that of course because of the pandemic nobody's been able to do this the way that we've enjoyed it in the past. We will soon hopefully be able to get back to that, but it's really overwhelming, and it's very, very much appreciated by all. I'm speaking for myself, but also for you, Carolina, and all of the people that I've seen who have been guests at conventions. It really, really means a lot, and it's very, very much appreciated when people come and say hello and share something experience through your work.
Yeah,
really.
So, question for you. I mean, of course, if Rob, oh my God, Rod Edge calls him, says, hello, mate, we're going to, reshoot or do a new video game. He was my first and only director at Rockstar, and he is just so fabulous. I finally cracked his little tight heart on Red Dead 2, but I'd worked with him on 2 video games before that, and he's just so deadpan and so jaded. And I'm like, oh, you're really a mushball inside. I know. But so of course, if they call you for another game, you'll do it. But is there a little piece of you that goes, oh, what else is happening in the acting world or in the voice world? Are you recording stuff from Indiana? Have you set up a little closet mic booth?
Haven't, and I've talked to Roger a lot about it, actually, because Roger's doing audiobooks. And he actually sent me a microphone. He got me like a starter kit. He's really been supportive and really cool and helpful in any information I've asked him.
Yeah.
He's been happy to share with me what he knows about everything about it, and really, really helpful. But no, I haven't. I've just been busy. I've been busy for, my kids are 9. I've been really busy for 9 years.
Yeah. And construction work is no joke. Like, you work long hours, you come home exhausted. It's tough.
It's tough, and it's I know I keep saying this, but the combination of having a family now, which I've really always wanted, and I appreciate so much, I want to experience it. So it's not just that I'm tired or that I'm busy. I'm really enjoying hanging out with my family, and I won't apologize to anyone for that, and I won't. And so that's the other part of it. I don't think right now I would get the same joy out of working on an audiobook or any kind of voiceover work or something I could do.
No, listen. Audiobooks, I'm not trying to shove you in there. Those are like a whole other animal. I hate recording audiobooks. I know Roger asked us to do this thing for charity. Did you do it?
I don't know what it is. I've had a couple different charity things.
Oh, okay. No, we're just recording some like short stories, and like I think I had to record 2 pages, but it's narration, and I'm like, oh my God, I hate this. I hate it so much. And some people are really good at it, and they can do it really easily. And I'm like, no, I want to do cartoon voices. I want to do badass chicks in video games, but like I cannot do audiobooks for the life of me. So, there's like different kinds of voice things that you can dip your feet into if you enjoy them. But audiobook seems to me a little bit like a little soul crushing for me personally. I have not done audiobooks, break every mold. I hate them, but that's just me.
Well, you have been busy doing so many other things, though. Tell me about Morgan's Mask, if you can. Is that?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you for asking. So the pandemic has been a crazy ride, of course, for everybody. I did have to buy a good quality mic, and I put it in my closet. I literally record like this, and if I stand too tall, I hit the top of the wooden plank thingy. So I can't wear shoes or flip flops when I record because, or else I'm like a little bit like this. So like my recording studio is this tiny box, really good quality mic, but it's not like a big space. I live in a small apartment, and so I have gotten to record a few like little animation things, stuff for Valorant, this new video game I'm on, and other video game stuff, which is great. But it's like not enough to keep you going. And then magically, this writer-director found me on Instagram. Thank God for Insta. He was looking for cosplayers to play this role, and then he kind of saw me dressed up. He's like, "Who's this chick?" And after he looked through my web series and stuff, he said, "I think you'd be good as this character. Are you interested?" And I thought he was reaching out because he knew I was Sombra and I was involved in video games. But he's like, "No, I just, I think you're good at comedy, blah, blah." I read the script and I fell in love with it. And then I said, "Let's do this." It's a story written about a young adult going through, or an old adult, going through pandemic on her own. She's a gamer and a cosplayer, but she lives alone, so she's kind of like navigating the ups and downs of the pandemic. And it just spoke to me because I spent a lot of the pandemic alone, and I felt like it would connect to a lot of my followers because they are cosplayers or gamers. They're all gamers, so let's not lie. And but he wrote it to be set in all in one location and shot with the tiniest crew because of COVID. So we did a Kickstarter. I thought, okay, I think this is something that could interest, my followers. So luckily, with the help of a lot of people here and on my Insta, we raised all the money and we shot this little indie that is being edited as we speak, and I've seen some rough cuts, and it's a little bit hard sometimes to watch yourself act. So I'm kind of trying to detach myself from the editing process because it's tough, especially when you see a shitty take and you're like, I don't like that one. But the director's really good at choosing moments that make sense. So I hope that it's going to be this really cool story about a gamer or cosplayer that will connect to a lot of our followers because it's connected to everything. And in the end, it's just like, I want to call it a coming of age, even though I'm 35. I feel like we tell these stories of like 21-year-olds figuring out their lives and then understanding who they are. But I think that we're all still understanding who we are, even at 40 or 45. And so I was like, I don't think we should pretend that this girl is younger. Why isn't she 35 and trying to figure out what the hell she wants to do and what makes her happy in life? So I think it'll connect to people who aren't gamers or cosplayers as well,
Yes. Yeah. That I completely agree. I think that, we've never stopped learning and evolving in our own journey, I guess, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's really, really cool. I can't wait to see it.
We'll see. And I do get to cosplay. One of the cosplayers who did my stuff for Sombra, we hired her again, and she made a Mercy cosplay. I don't know if you've ever met Lucy Pohl. She voices Mercy in Overwatch, and she's just this like beautiful winged doctor, guys. The doctor is in. And so we did the Sugar Plum Fairy version of her because my character is like finding what makes her happy. So she makes this beautiful costume because she's so talented. And I think it'll be a cool little. I hope to be able to screen the movie at cons because I feel like it could be really cool. It would work as a convention, like an extracurricular thing at like 6 or 8 p.m. and then there's a Q&A or something. So I'm kind of trying to figure out how we can work it into the con route because at this rate, I don't know what's going to happen at film festivals and stuff,
Right. Yeah. Who knows? But that's so great. It's so cool. And I'm telling you this because anybody go back and look at all of the different creative things that Carolina has put out there for everyone. And this is I know that. All right, but I'm being honest. You're really inspiring, and you're sharing a lot of really cool, creative ideas with a lot of people, and that's so cool. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
You're so kind, guys. Now, Rob has taken over the interview, and you were so sweet. No, but I like this. This is a conversation. It's not an interview. He's my PR agent, guys. He's gonna sell the movie to you. Thank you, though. No, I am antsy in that, like, I like doing stuff, and the pandemic's been tough because I haven't gotten to travel the world and meet people or work as much as we would have hoped, and so it's been like, what's the creative outlet that we can do? And you have kids, you have inspiring things every day happen, little people bring such joy and stress, but they do say the darndest things, and it's like a beautiful learning curve every day, right?
Oh my goodness, yeah. Yeah, having kids changed my life. It's in such a great way, but I never saw it coming. Like I knew that I wanted to have kids, and I knew that, even as my wife was pregnant with our kids,
yeah,
I didn't realize how much it would change me until I held my own kids. And now as they're growing and they're so funny and they're so good and they're so bad at the same time. And it's perfect. I mean, they're perfect.
Yeah.
But and that's right. I have that in my life, and not everyone does. So
yeah. Have you ever dragged them to a con?
Not yet. No, I haven't yet. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they would think about it. I think down the road, yeah, that would be really.
Yeah.
But no.
No, at some point it would be cool, to show them, to have them see you in your element and like how beloved you are by everybody. And then also like just walking around a con, I took my parents to one in Colombia, and the only one I went to there. And my mom was like, oh, that was Batman's car in the movie. Did you know, honey? I'm like, Mom, whatever, and then she's like, what's this anime thing? Tell me more. I'm like, oh my God. She was like taking pictures of everybody dressed up. And then my dad, while I was signing autographs, he literally stood behind this post and watched me sign autographs for 2 hours. And then this cute girl, the poor thing, she was crying, telling me her story, and I hugged her. And as she walked off and wiped her tears, my dad was like, should I go hug her? What's going on? I'm like, Dad, no, you're a stranger. Don't go hug her. But I already talked to her. He was so cute.
I love it. That's so cool.
Yeah. But your wife would love seeing you in your element, and your kids would be like, "Oh my God, look at Dad! He's so cool." Whenever it's the right age and it makes sense, and they'll love seeing the cosplayers, and it's just an interesting experience if they haven't witnessed at least one con. It could be a cool location to take them to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. We'll work that out, and when the time is right, we'll make that happen. But it's a con for those of you who haven't been to a convention. You really need to check it out. There's so much to see, and it's so cool. I mean, it's just really cool. All kinds of people being cool, showing off their art, their booth. It's an amazing experience. So if you haven't been to one, please check it.
Blurry Umbrellas is suggesting to have them dress up as Arthur and John and just walk around the convention like that. That would be super cute.
Yeah. Well, oh my goodness, yeah. They're wild, identical twins, and they're just wild. But yeah, it'd be fun to get them all.
Yeah. Kids are cute, man. And twins. How fast is there twins in your on your side of the family? Because usually that's like a genetic, like it comes down like.
Yeah, I think it like sometimes it skips a generation or something like that. But so identical twins is different because it's. Fraternal twins is a genetic thing.
Okay.
Identical twins is kind of a freak accident. Like it's not something that you can say this is why this happened. It's just it either happens or it doesn't happen. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, freak accident. If something that would happen in my
It's like it happened to me.
It's great. I mean, it's really great to be a parent, and hope I'm doing it right.
I'm sure you are, dude. Everyone's saying that you're a cuddly teddy bear. Like that. Those are the comments here.
Okay. Yeah.
Was your wife acting as well when you guys lived out here, or?
No. And she had the most perfect setup if she wanted to be. Her dad is he's a cameraman.
Oh,
and
wow.
Like Pirates of the Caribbean. He's the one that held the camera and shot that movie. And he's worked. His resume is so much better than mine would ever be. And of course, he's got all these ins. And if she wanted to do it, then she just could say, "I want to do it." And he'd say, "All right, what do you want?" Almost like, "What do you want to work on?" Well,
yeah.
But she did one day on, I think it was General Hospital.
Uh-huh.
I think she was high school aged. And she was really excited about it and couldn't wait to get there. And got her sides, her script, had her lines memorized. And there were like 4 or 5 lines. Just a one-day deal. And she got there and realized that it's not just you and the other person in the scene. There are people running around with lights, and there are 20 people in a room where you think there might be just 4 or 3, whatever. And she was overwhelmed by everyone's looking at me. There are lights shining on me, and I'm not comfortable with this at all. So she luckily got to experience what it was like firsthand to be in that position, and it was not for her.
Oh, wow. But that's good to know,
Yeah. So anybody else who wants to be an actor, don't be overwhelmed by me saying this. Do it. That's what you want to do. But there are going to be more people in the room than just you and your scene partner.
Absolutely. That's the thing, even when you're having the most intimate scene and you think, even as a viewer, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, that moment is so perfect. And then I'm like, oh wait, I know there are 20 people around them right now. Sound, lights, director, AD, camera operator, everything, Yeah. So crazy.
A lot going on.
Okay, so I totally forgot to shout out this chair that I'm sitting on. I'm going to do that right now. But as I do this and I shout out the subscriptions, Rob, think about anything you want to plug, or if you're going to do a nerd signing soon or any fun stuff like that. But I did want to show the chat this awesome chair. Okay, guys, it is from Secret Lab. Check it. What? It's got this beautiful little pillow. And you saw me twirling it around on the... oh my God, look at the back. It is so sexy. It is smooth as silk. I am sponsored by Secret Lab right now. This chair is awesome, but I won't twist because I have this happening, and then I'll tie myself up like a Christmas tree. I had my sister build it for me because I'm a terrible builder of things. She loved it though, so it is on my Insta. But Secret Lab is sponsoring me, and we've teamed up. If you are interested in Secret Lab chairs, there is a link that Danny has so wonderfully put somewhere on Twitch. Danny, let me know where the heck it is. You can click on it and hopefully buy a chair because it will help me help them. But they really are gorgeous chairs, and I've been enjoying the collaboration with them. I'm going to try and do a giveaway, actually. I'm talking to them about it. So I will be hopefully making it happen and advertising it on all channels. And it probably won't happen for another month, but keep an eye out because we want to give away one of these chairs, and one of you could be the lucky winner. So hopefully they'll agree, and we'll have one sent to wherever y'all live. And here we go with the subscriptions. Guys, I am so sorry I missed a subscription last week. It totally sucks, but just know that if I miss you, I will get you the next time. So here we go. Hikari Kenzaki subscribed for 2 months at tier 1 3 minutes ago. There was a hype train completed at level 2. Woo! 13 sub gifts. You're like, what is happening? What is all this Twitch talk?
I'm right here. I'm going to get in.
Yeah, right? Mercy Yura, you just got a boop. And okay, I'll say ooh for you because you're so cute. P Vimto gave out 10 tier 1 community gift subs. Thank you. There was a hype train. We talked about that. Break every mold. You did not need to subscribe for 3 months, but I appreciate you. Thank you, Jonathan. Kay Sevio subscribed with Prime. Maisie Grove, why in God's name did you subscribe for 3 months? She's Danny. She takes care of everything on this Twitch, and she subscribed. Hi, I'm such a huge fan. With a little Sombra emote. O Poderoso Jeff A.O. subscribed for 2 months with Prime. Thank you. You want the new KFC console? Awesome. I don't know what the heck that is, but you go dude. See, this cheered 100 Brits 7 days ago. Okay, we got through them, guys, and I did not miss anybody. I hope I didn't. Rob, you also get a boop, because that's life. Don't forget the follows. Those are not showing up on my thingy-majingy. Danny, how do I see those? Ugh. Am I supposed to shout out the follows? I don't know. Got it. Oh, okay. Guys, I don't have that linked up so that I can shout out the follows. I'm shouting out the subscriptions because they're very special. As you can tell, the secret fairy, Danny, just whispered into my ear and nobody could hear but Rob and myself, which I think is super cool. Danny bullies me. I'm sorry, Merciera. Cool. Oh, the boops for Rob. Yes. Super cool. Anyway, so that was my crazy shout out thingy majingy. So yeah, Big Brontendo, thank you for the follows. I will shout them out next time, but I hadn't clicked that, so I can't see the thingy. Wait, what? Coughs and start crying. What's happening, people? We love you. I don't know. The chat is a crazy thing, Rob. I think that you would get quite overwhelmed looking at it. You'd be like, goodbye. All right, dude. So are you doing a signing anytime soon?
I'm not. No, I have one to finish. I had the last signing that I did. I had more people get a print than I had prints. So
popular.
Oh shit. Well, it wasn't. It was so. Okay. So I still need to finish because more prints needed to be shipped to me so I could finish it up. And I thought that I was going to be able to do that a couple days ago, and then I had to cancel. And I don't. If anybody's aware of that, just blame it on me. Blame it on me. And if I take the full blame for this not working out the way that I thought it was going to, if I tell the whole story, then I'm actually throwing somebody else under the bus, and I'm not willing to do that. So it's my fault. And we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. Thank you for your patience.
Do you want me to order some John Marston prints, and I will send them to your house in Indiana so that you can sign?
Well, thank you so much. No, it's really it's not a complicated deal, but it's unfortunate that people have ordered something and they can't have it right now.
Also, the world is understanding right now, and we can postpone things, and it's not like, people are flying to see you somewhere. You hop on. Besides having a strange porn predilection, I know him personally, so I'm giving him shit. But he wants to know what your favorite Marston lines are, and if you could give us a few, because they're fun.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, there were so many fun ones. So many. John's chasing somebody, or just a lot of random, really ridiculous lines. But my favorite line, I think, of all time is, people don't forget, nothing gets forgiven. That was in both games. If you played Red Dead Redemption, you hear it in that game, and then you also hear it. If you're in the right place, John has a conversation with Hosea, and he says the same line. It's a different delivery.
Yeah.
But I really love that line. And then I think my second favorite line is, and I can't remember it now because now I feel like I'm going to say it wrong. Even if I say it right, I think I'm going to say it wrong. But when John brings back his art that he got from, it's a squirrel. He's got this squirrel that has been stuffed and it's got a top hat. And it's art. Abigail, what do you mean you don't? It's art. Anyway, he's really proud of his squirrel, and Abigail's not really into it sitting on the mantle.
Wait, it's a live squirrel. It's like taxidermy.
It's a taxidermy squirrel. And it was really, really fun going through all that work. The people at Rockstar, of course, are hilarious. And
oh my God, yeah, totally.
We had so much fun with all the squirrel lines.
But just how you just said it, it's art. Like, you're taking it so seriously. It's so great. Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Not knowing that this is art. Back on. So frustrating. But, that John yells a lot. Obviously, John yells a lot. He's a frustrated person. But you hear a lot of, out of the damn way. A lot of I don't know what else.
Yeah, no, those are great, man. So we have, I'm sure you know that Overwatch has a character that's a cowboy.
Yes.
Yeah, his name is McCree, and the voice actor is just the best human being on earth. I can't wait for you to meet him. He's so lovely. But his famous voice line is, "It's high noon." And I know I saw in the comments when I announced you that they wanted you to say that. So if you could do your best high noon voice line from John.
Oh, wow. I'm trying to think of, I guess there's no, is there, don't tell me. I'm going to make up my own scene right here. Uncle, it's high noon. Get up.
All right, guys, there you go. You got it, man. Oh, so good.
Play the game, maybe you understand why I said it that way.
Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm sure they know more than I do, but I'm never on the inside jokes of video games because, as you know, I don't play. But they did, Break Every Mold mentions that he loves when you get attacked by a wild animal. And do I look like food to you? He says that's a really funny one.
Yes, I love it. There was a line, I can't remember if it was, what'd you eat? It was something where John kills an animal and then he's skinning it and one of the producers on Red Dead Redemption 2 had played Red Dead Redemption, and he came over to me and he said that line. He's British, and his accent, he was trying to sound like John, and when he said it, I laughed and he laughed, and then I said it back to him, but I kind of had a British accent. I just did. I just happened that way. He goes, no, you don't. You said the line. You don't say it again. It was just funny, weird, like.
Oh my God, so good.
You're impersonating me, and now I'm impersonating you. Okay, this is great.
I love it. The chat asked what your bees' names were, and if you could taxidermy bees. I don't think that can happen, Merciera. That's insane. But also, do you name your bees?
Okay, so I don't really have bees. I was telling a story. Excuse me. A story about I went to a beekeeper to get bees because they're really good. Like the honey from local bees is really good. It's got a lot of healing properties and whatever. And so I wanted 10 bees, and they were expensive bees. And I got all my bees, and I went out to my truck, and I realized I got 11 bees. So I went back in and I said, "Look, man, I'm sorry. You gave me 11 bees. I only paid for 10." And he said, "Freebie." So stupid. It's so stupid, but that's one of the things I was talking about in my last Instagram live, and so that's why people have been talking to you about bees.
I love it. Okay, so good, so great. Thank you for explaining that. Now I know. Hey, you had chickens in a coop. You could have bees, man.
There's no question about it. Yeah,
absolutely. Rob, this has been a really, really fun live stream. Thank you so much.
Well, Carolina, thank you. I honestly thank you. And I really appreciate you having interest in talking to me. And I've really enjoyed it too. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And it, takes you away from the monotony of kids. And guys, this is, I keep wanting to call you John. This is Rob's week off from construction. And we tried to get him on almost a month ago. And he said, the only time I'll be off is like the Christmas week. And I was like, if it's not too much bother, I would do one with you that Tuesday, the 29th. And so I'm really glad, guys, it's his time off and he's here to hang out with you guys, which is awesome. And follow his Insta. It's Rob_Wietoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess there's Twitter, but you don't use that as much, right?
Yeah, it's the same name, but yeah, I don't use it. I mean, now and then I do, but I don't, no. Whatever.
All good. No, just checking in case you use it often. But give him a follow so you guys can know when he's going to be signing autographs and all that stuff if you're into Red Dead 2. And actually, we didn't talk about it that much, but in the last two times we had Red Dead guys on, everyone was commenting about how like they've played the game like twice twice or three times because it's just so beautiful, and that they always cry at these specific moments, and that there's just such awesome stuff. So they've really appreciated the game. And one of our beautiful followers from Venezuela said that when he graduated, all of his family pitched in to buy a game because the situation was so tough in Venezuela, but that was the one thing they gave him as a gift. And oh my God, my heart filled with love. And it's just like the followers you guys have are super appreciative and love all your work. And so I wanted to let you know that that's the case. Because you've met them in person, but I love reading the comments and seeing how how it's just so genuine. So
That's so nice to hear. Thank you so much for sharing that with me, and it's very much appreciated. Thank you so much.
you got it. So guys, now you know where to find Rob, and go play Red Dead if you haven't. And have fun with your family. Happy New Year. May 2021 bring better things for all of us. Although we've learned quite a bit this year. I think it's still been a good year to learn some hard lessons, Yeah,
well, yeah, there's no doubt. We've learned hard lessons, whether we wanted to or not. But we'll hope for a better 2021, and everybody just keep on trucking.
Yeah.
Got what we got to do. We'll get
Absolutely. We will. So guys, keep booming and booping. Boop.